Hello, this is a sideshow. I'm Theodore Parker, and today is Monday, July 15th, 2024. Currently, the temperature is around 75 degrees here in Lexington, Kentucky, and we have a special weather statement until Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Abundant sunshine today, highs in the mid-90s and lows in the mid-70s. Temperatures going up to 96 degrees. The special weather alert today for this area is issued by Louisville, Kentucky, U.S. National Weather Service and affects Fayette County and reads as follows. Hot and humid conditions continue today. The combination of afternoon temperatures reaching into the upper 90s and a muggy air mass will result in peak heat index values in the 100 to 105 degree range. Use caution if planning to be outdoors. Hot and humid conditions are then expected to continue through Tuesday. Drink plenty of fluids, stay in an air-conditioned room, stay out of the sun, and check up on relatives and neighbors. Take extra precautions when outside. Wear lightweight and loose-fitting clothing. Try to limit strenuous activities to early morning or evening. Take action when you see symptoms of heat exhaustion and heat stroke. Please be advised accordingly. Today, sunrise was at 6:27 a.m. and sunset will be at 9 p.m. Wind around 4 miles per hour. The AQI is moderate at 60 and pollen is high. Again, I'm Theodore Parker. This is a sideshow here in Lexington, Kentucky. And if you're watching the sideshow on Facebook and Instagram, don't forget to like, comment, and share. Talk about it on WhatsApp. If you're watching the sideshow on YouTube, like, comment, share, and subscribe. And of course, the sideshow coffee cup. 11-ounce black ceramic, dishwasher safe, good for all beverages, hot and cold, with the sideshow logo on it. Buy from me for $17 plus shipping and handling worldwide. Pay me through Cash App. My Cash App tag is $TR Parker 1. So here we are Monday morning. After coming through the weekend. Besides the temperatures in this area being in the 90s with the heat index close to 100 degrees, these are some of the things that were happening over this weekend. The Tour de France, NASCAR, Wimbledon, WNBA games, NBA Summer League games, PGA Tour continues, soccer games, celebrity softball game, and the MLB Major League Baseball draft. And Saturday afternoon, former President Trump had a campaign rally scheduled in Pennsylvania, in which a shooting took place and he was struck by a bullet. After I finished with Facebook and Instagram and WhatsApp on Saturday, I kind of closed the shop and didn't really check any of my devices until Sunday morning. So that's when I found out what had happened at the rally in Pennsylvania with Trump on Sunday morning. So I found out through my notifications and that what had happened was being considered as an assassination attempt. So here's how it unfolded for me. First, the video clip. He's at the podium, turns, shots ring out, he reaches for his ear and then ducks down. People on the platform and the crowd are still not sure until the Secret Service rushes the platform and surrounds the former president. Blood is coming down the side of his face. On the right side of his face, they get him to his feet and off the platform and into a vehicle. Now that I'm aware of what has happened, I turn on the TV and access the local national station to see what updates there are to the situation. So between the TV and streaming services, this is some of the information that I was able to access. At the time, the Secret Service was aware of multiple shots fired and more people having been hit. Trump had been hit on the right ear, another person hit in the chest, and one more struck in the head and listed in critical condition. As the story unfolds, the shooter is killed, the man who was critically wounded dies, and the other person is reported as stable. Trump rally shooter identified as Thomas Matthew Crooks, 20-year-old Pennsylvania man, was killed by the Secret Service sniper. At this point, there's more information that comes forward that said there's a man in the crowd who notices, and this is from a layout that was published through the news media, of the platform, and also this person in the crowd notices the man climbing on top of a shed with a rifle. So it's been determined that he had an AR-15 style rifle, and just the pointing, at the man climbing up on the shed. And I would imagine this is a time when the Secret Service reacted to the shots and killed the shooter. So he was the one person that was observant enough to see the whole thing unfold from beginning to end. So there's yet to be determined the motive for the shooting, but explosives were found at his home and in his vehicle, which was parked within a mile of where the rally was held. He'd also made a small donation during the inauguration of President Biden, but was registered as a Democrat. So at least 2 other people were injured. David Dutch, 57, of New Kensington, Pennsylvania, and James Copenhaves, 74, of Moon Township, Pennsylvania. Both were listed in stable condition as of Sunday. At least one report mentioned that the firefighter dove to cover his family. And the firefighter is listed as Corey first name Corey, was there with his family, and in diving to protect his family, was struck in the head by a bullet. So in a primetime national address, the president said we must not go down the road of political violence in America and called for unity. He did not hesitate to call President Trump. Pennsylvania Governor Shapiro, in a press conference, echoed the president, adding that he had spoke with President Biden and former President Trump earlier. So he also mentioned that it was in Pennsylvania that 248 years ago that the documents were signed to make this country, original 13 colonies into an independent United States of America, which I have covered in earlier broadcasts. He also said that Biden was a good man for having called Trump and spoke with him after the shooting incident. World leaders have also reached out to express their abhorrence of violence, especially in the political arena, and violence of any sort being used as a resolution of conflict. So this article, which comes from Reuters, I will share with you because it lists some of the world leaders that have responded. And this was on the 14th, Sunday, and it goes as follows. Washington, July 14th, Reuters. World leaders have rapidly condemned Saturday's attack on Donald Trump at a rally in Pennsylvania in which the former president was shot in the ear, expressing shock, denouncing political violence, and wishing him a quick recovery. As at this point, I will interject this information. Since the 1900s, or since 1900, there have been 143 political assassinations around the world. So it's fortunate that Donald Trump was not added to that list. The article continues. The Trump campaign said later that Trump, who was running a game for the White House in November's U.S. election, was doing well. The FBI identified 20-year-old Thomas Matthew Crooks of Bethel Park, Pennsylvania, as a subject involved in what it termed an attempted assassination. A spokesperson for United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres condemned the shooting and called it an act of political violence. Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida said, "We must stand firm against any form of violence that changes democracy." British Prime Minister Keir Starmer said he was appalled by the shocking scenes at the rally. Political violence in any form has no place in our societies, and my thoughts are with all the victims of this attack. Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky said there was no justification for such violence, and he was relieved that Trump, who has frequently criticized U.S. military aid to Ukraine amid Russia's invasion, was safe and wished him a speedy recovery. Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese said the shooting was concerning and confronting, while Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau said it left him sickened. Trudeau added, "Political violence is never acceptable." Similar comments were also made by the leaders of the European Union, Egypt, Thailand, Taiwan, South Korea, New Zealand, Italy, Sweden, the Netherlands, and the Philippines. The article's kind of jumping here a little bit, advertising being such as it is. And it continues, "It is a tragedy for our democracies," French President Emmanuel Macron said of the shooting. France shares the shock and indignation of the American people. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu also said the shooting left him shocked. Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban, who met Trump this week while visiting the U.S. for a NATO summit, said his prayers were with the former president in these dark hours. Brazilian President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva called the shooting unacceptable, while also urging others to condemn it. The attack against former President Donald Trump must be vehemently repudiated by all defenders of democracy and dialogue in politics. What we saw today is unacceptable, the Brazilian leader said. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi called Trump a friend and wished him a speedy recovery while saying Shoney condemned the incident. Violence has no place in politics and democracy. And last, but by no means least, Melania Trump also thanked the Secret Service for their quick action and condemned violence, political violence, and violence in all its forms as a means of solving conflict. That's it. Hashtag.